touch him, they end the call. So trying again.
The YouTube video number 5. Don't touch him.
My ears.
That's why you don't break in the new headphones on the podcast. You don't break in your new shoes at work. You wear them around a bit.
You're right. I'm good.
Careful. Okay. Number 2. Following a test screening, Universal executives Sid Sheinberg and Frank Price were allegedly arguing about who was to blame for greenlighting this film, which then ended in a fist fight between the two.
Who greenlit it?
Yeah.
George Lucas's fault, it seems like.
I guess so, but they didn't want to punch him. They wanted to punch each other.
Yeah, probably a financially sounder decision.
Yeah. Next, begging you facts is that Leah Thompson actually did the singing for all of her songs of her character in the band, as did the other actresses in the group. So they were just a full-on band.
That's pretty cool. A lady band.
Yeah, 4 women.
Pretty iconic look for the 80s, I feel like. The curly hair, the rockin' ladies.
Yeah, a lead rock star, Blondie, Debbie Harry.
My glam bitch, yeah. And
when
others.
When was ABBA most prevalent?
In the 70s. They were Swiss.
Yeah, they're still making shit, though, too.
Yeah, they're old as shit. Eurovision
great.
people.
Yeah.
Wayne's World had a similar lady protagonist. Heart, of course.
Hard time. Excellent. Oh, yeah, Heart's a good one, too.
Pat Benatar.
Guy Bendikar? You mean
Joan
Pat
Jett.
Benatar?
I keep going.
Technically not 80s, but Fleetwood Mac with Stevie Nicks.
She made some stuff in the 80s, yeah.
Solo-wise, yeah. Next. Yeah. The evil Overlord is based on the Marvel villain who is the reason Howard was brought to Earth. His full title in the comics is not the evil Overlord, but Thog the Nether-Spawn, Overmaster of Sominus.
Yeah, see, Marvel's retarded. It's stupid.
I knew I put this in here just so I could say that.
That's no different than the made-up names I've given characters from Marvel. Like what's his name? Zorptorb?
Yeah.
Zorptorb Shake. They're so stupid.
Hey, Marvel, can I get a Zorptorb Shake?
You're a child if you like this stuff, I think, now.
But that's the thing, is somebody that went to Comic-Con that's a big Howard the Duck person would be like, hey, you're the evil Overlord. No, I'm Thog the Nether-Spawn, Overmaster of Sominus.
Yeah, if someone corrected me on that, I would punch him.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. Next up, executive producer George Lucas spent $2 million on Howard's duck suit, and 8 different actors worked inside the costume at one time or another.
$2 million?
Yep.
For that?
Yep.
Makes you wonder what Mel cost.
200,000. No, it was just 200. It was 200 and it made $12 at the box office.
That's cheap filmmaking. You gotta go to them.
Yeah, you gotta go to them. Next up, this is the second consecutive financial failure for director Willard Huyck, whose previous film, Best Defense from '84, was also a box office flop. The failure of this film killed off his directing career for good, and he never made another film after this one.
Director jail. Love it. Love a good director jail, unless my lady Elaine May's there.
Yeah, I knew it. Well, here, my next fact is topical because we were just talking about it. Leah Thompson designed her character's look after Cyndi Lauper and Madonna.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say Cyndi Lauper, too, was one of them.
How did we leave out Madonna?
Plus, I guess he's kind of the queen of it all.
Yeah.
80s glam rockers.
Yeah.
I can see that. It's a very good look, I'll say, too. Not complaining.
Not at all.
Red-blooded American.
As a red-blooded American man.
And then you see Howard, it's like that.
And then you see them together, you're like, don't. I swear to God.
You're like, I'm so jealous.
Next one. Shortly after the movie was released, Frank Price, one of those Universal Picture fistfight guys, producers, quit his job as the head of Universal Pictures, the studio that had funded the film. A Variety magazine reported the story with the headline, "Duck Cooks Price's Goose."
Good headline. Love a good headline. We've lost the art of headlines.
Yep. Next, and I'm going to have to check this out now. The title character, Howard the Duck, made a second cinematic appearance in a post-credit scene of Guardians of the Galaxy in 2014.
That makes
exactly
sense.
28 years and 1 day after the film's theatrical release in 86.
No, that makes sense. They do shit like that so far at the end. Remember when we had Michael Keaton? They do shit like that.
Yeah, but that was to set up a sequel with Michael Keaton in Morbius as a villain.
They probably wanted to set up a Howard the Duck sequel.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
They probably did.
They probably did, and we just never noticed. Penultimate big new facts is that people that auditioned for the voice of Howard the Duck. And there are 3 big names.
Who didn't get it?
John Cusack.
Ugh.
Robin Williams.
Ooh, that'd be good.
And Martin Short.
Should have gone to Robin Williams. Yeah, he'd be perfect.
Oh, absolutely. But they went with 8 different people instead.
Weird. Yeah. Maybe to save money on this big, expensive movie. Oh, he wouldn't have been a huge name at the time. He would have been a name.
Yeah.
Pre-Oscars.
Pre-Aladdin.
Post Mork and Mindy.
I don't know Mork and Mindy, but...
No, of course Mork and Mindy.
No, I don't know that.
That's his big break.
I don't know it.
Hit us with some facts while I tell you about Mork and Mindy. A spin-off of Happy Days.
When did Flubber come out? When did Mrs. Doubtfire come out? Those are both 90s.
Doubtfire's 93. Mork and Mindy was 78 to 82. So.
Oh, and it was a TV show?
Yeah, it was a Happy Days spin-off, and they're aliens.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, exactly. How did shows get greenlit back then? But I guess it was good.
Yeah. Well, my last fact is nominations. This was the winner at the Stinkers Bad Movie Awards for Worst Picture.
Wow, a little harsh there.
And that's the only nominee at those awards, so.
Best Picture, and it won it.
That's the only nomination it got, so. But then at the Razzies in 1990, because that's when it started, so retroactively.
The retroactive Razzies. Retro Razzies.
It was nominated for Worst Picture of the Decade.
Wow.
It was the winner for Worst Picture for 86. It actually tied with Under the Cherry Moon.
Okay. Never heard of it.
It was the winner for Worst Screenplay. Winner for Worst New Star. And I don't know. It didn't say who it was. Maybe it was just Howard.
Probably the character of Howard. Maybe Leah Thompson. I don't know.
I thought she was decent in that.
They wouldn't.
Tim Robbins?
Man, no, he's all right too. Probably Howard.
Winner for Worst Visual Effects. Oh, here it is. No. Nominee for Worst Supporting Actor for Tim Robbins. Nominee for Worst Director. And nominee for Worst Original Song for the song Howard the Duck. Not one of Cherry Bomb's band.
No, but Cherry Bomb rocked.
Yeah. And that's our nominations. All bad ones.
I mean, they were going to recognize it in its time.
Yeah.
This is you got to let a decade boil under this one to see its beauty.
Decade, you.
Boiling beauty.
What?
that was my grunge version.
Oh, okay. So with that, we can get into the movie.
Be sure to turn your cell phone off. Before the show.
And make sure you enjoy the show. Howard the Duck here. This is where heartbreak feels good.
Yeah. Heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
He's
You
still
ass.
he's still got an Australian accent, I want to believe.
An Aussie drawl.
He's a illegal alien duck with an Australian accent. Because he
He
loves
had like
Nicole.
a Brooklyn accent or something.
He did kind of have a Brooklyn accent. I was trying to pick up on what it was from.
It was just like tough guy, I guess. Yeah.
So is he in bed with Nicole, or are they in a band together?
Yeah. He's playing the drums.
Oh, of course he's a drummer. His little webbed feet though can't touch the bass kick at the bottom.
He just has to kick him himself.
Yeah, he just actually kicks it.
Kicks the drum. It sounds like shit.
And then there's Nicole. She's our lead.
Of course, she's like 6 feet tall, isn't she?
She's
We've done this before.
5'10", 5'9".
5'11". She'd be a
5'11".
striking
Lead
front
singer.
woman. Yeah.
Who else is in this band?
Jesse McCartney on bass.
Fuck.
Yeah, and Steve-O on lead guitar.
Steve-O from Jackass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and don't forget keyboard, Ronald Reagan.
Can't forget Ronald Reagan on keys.
So Nicole
All about
Kidman,
the
Reagan,
Regs.
Steve-O, Jesse McCartney, and Howard the Duck.
Yeah, and they're called the Marbles.
Oh, I was gonna call them ducking around. The Marbles is better.
Have any of those characters ever been in Marvel? Jesse McCartney? You ever
I
fuck
don't think
around in
so.
there?
He was Theodore in Alvin and the Chipmunks. He was the voice of Theodore.
Close. Disney, I'm sure, or close to
Wait,
it.
so you're calling them the Marvels, not the Marbles, like a ball. Like you play
the
marbles.
Marvel. We could play marbles.
That's what I thought you said was the Marbles. And I was like, hell yeah.
The Marbles, we can loot. Their first album can be called We Lost Them.
There
They
we
lost all
go.
their marbles.
Hit song Get Out of the Ring. But it's all a boxing metaphor.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
marbles.
This is the Marbles. They're two hit songs, Get Out of the Ring and Love.
Love. Every band has a song called Without You as well.
That is true.
We have a hit called Without
Even
You.
David Guetta has one.
Of course David Guetta has one.
There's no way he wouldn't.
My friend Eric Kerouac told me in high school, one of his many lies, that David Guetta was a mute and that he never like talked or anything. And I believed that for a while.
And so that's why he's just a producer, because he couldn't.
DJ behind the scenes, yeah. David Guetta. He also told me that Waka Flocka Flame was Kel and Keenan and Kel.
What?
Yeah, I snuffed that one out though.
Flocka!
Thought that was Waka Flocka before he became a rapper.
Shout out Eric Kerouac.
He doesn't deserve a shout out.
In the championship of our Dynasty League.
Against Ye Branch.
Against Brant. I'm taking third in the league.
Pretty good. Is it a 2-week deal or a 1-week deal?
This one's only one. The other two leagues we're in are 2-week deals.
Okay.
So.
All right, you start off, Howard Leduc, while I get a drink of water.
And you'll finish it off. Don't you fucking dare turn it off. Don't you dare. Taking those headphones out. I knew it. Gotta be careful. So, Howard Leduc. He's obviously French. Starts off with it gave me like noir vibes because it's a smooth crime scene kind of jazz music. Like somebody's just coming, they're sitting at a diner, they're smoking a cigarette. So you want to hear the story of how I found Deputy Jones. And we're zooming through this city. And you're like, oh, this is just Earth. 2 moons in the sky, though. That's got to be based off of George Lucas, Star Wars universe. The 2 red moons. And someone's coming home from work. He's got some mail. He tosses it down. A postcard is addressed to Howard. There's messages on the voicemail. They're talking to Howard. So many movie posters all over the wall, and trophies, and family photos, and all of them with ducks in them. There was even a band, Howard and the Heartbreakers, I believe. So Howard the Duck, this is his home. Obviously, he's in a band, and he might have been a movie star, and because there was an Indiana Jones one, but maybe he's just a movie fan. And also, are these family photos his family? Because there's like one of him with like a girl duck in a bikini, like hugging him. A postcard was from Melissa saying that she misses him. But then one of the messages on the answering machine is from a lady, and she was very provocative in it. She was not holding back with the ruffling of the feathers, if you know what I mean. And I put, is this a mistress or the girl duck in the photos? Is he in a relationship currently? Did his wife die? Are we supposed to know this? Did I need to read Howard the Duck beforehand? I don't know. But we finally get to see the titular character that's been walking through the home, and it is Howard the Duck. He pops down into his recliner, opens up a beer. He loves to drink beer. He's watching TV, but he's so sleepy. Nothing on TV's like really catching his eye. He's flipping through. There's a weird, like, I don't even know. I thought it was like an auction thing. It was a guy taking a duck. Sorry, all of the TV is duck based because the world is ducks, but taking a baseball bat to like less and less expensive cash registers. And there was like a hospital drama, like a ER house Grey's Anatomy thing where they were performing surgery on a duck. I don't know, but he's too fed up with the TV. He's too sleepy. So what he does is he grabs this new magazine he got in, and this is Duck Playboy. Play Duck. And he opens it up. He's like, well, who's the model this time? Opens it up right away. Nipples. Duck nipples. Full-breasted duck nipples.
Their way of getting around the censors, I see. Yeah.
Also, I asked the audience a question. Maybe you can help me answer. When he came home, and there was that postcard that was like, "Hey, I'm missing you a lot. Vacation sucks, Melissa, or whatever. I just want to be with you." But then and then there were those photos everywhere of him with another female duck. But then on the messaging system, there was Wendy who was like, "Want to run my fingers through your feathers tonight or whatnot." Is he fucking another woman? Is he married?
I think he's a play duck. No, I think he's like a fuck boy in this world. That's part of his arc, I think, is he's like, I don't commit to girls. I hook up with them in my world, and then he finds a girl he wants to be with.
I guess just the photos made me think he was a married man duck, but
I don't know. It seemed more like bikini-clad lady ducks.
I guess that's fair, yeah. Also, did you notice the two moons, the Star Wars reference?
I did not. That's stupid.
In the opening scene, as that noir-style smooth crime scene jazz music is playing. Yeah, two red moons in the sky.
Star Wars universe movie as well as a Marvel universe movie.
All of it's Disney now.
Yeah, that's the connector. Hey,
ow! He texts out Play Duck. You see the nipples when all of a sudden a giant earthquake is going, and Howard's freaking out. But then out of nowhere, he's sitting in his recliner, just being sucked through the walls of his apartment building.
Crazy.
And then I put, what the fuck? More duck nipples of a girl duck in the bathtub.
Yeah, I crashed through some house. Yeah.
Full on titties again. And every duck in the city is seeing Howard being sucked through the air and to a wormhole in the sky that sends him into the cosmos. And did you notice that his planet was egg-shaped?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we had like a Neil deGrasse Tyson voiceover about space.
I put the wannabe Neil deGrasse Tyson, how the galaxies and anything is possible, even if it seems like fantasy, with a title card drop.
Howard the Duck. This is part of the confusing tone criticism of the movie, I think.
Yeah.
Just random little bits of satire or parody, and then we're back to like a kid's movie, and then it's duck titties.
Yeah. With crime scene drama, jazz music, but he ends up going through another wormhole onto Earth and is stuck in his chair, surrounded by humans who just start picking him up, bringing him into the clubs. I don't know why they brought him into the the club right away. They're like, look at this
Bar,
fucker. And they just brought him in. But then he gets
Cleveland.
kicked out. They're throwing him around. And Leah Thompson is a part of the rock band, the Cherry Bombs, and singing Hunger City. And
They're
they
in
had
like a gross garage place.
the band had to be in a cage to perform.
Like the No Holds Barred bar.
Yeah. That exactly.
Rough and tumble.
She's singing Hunger City as Howard is escaping from creeped out humans and also Satan Slut's motorcycle gang who is after him.
Good name.
And Howard ends up hiding in a little oil drum, takes a little nappy until Beverly, this is Leah Thompson,
Weird, yeah.
gets done with her show, and two guys start manhandling her, saying they are her biggest fans.
Yeah,
They
they're
toss
like beating her up.
Yeah, they toss her around into the oil drum. She's begging for help. So Howard pops out to beat them up with Beverly.
Yeah, he knows like duck martial arts. So he kicks their ass.
Superhero-esque style. Saving the damsel in distress.
All the tropes.
Yep. And he
asks
Beverly where he is. She tells him he's in Cleveland on Earth, and he doesn't know what to do or where to go. And she's about to leave, but she sees him just kind of standing in the rain.
Like, I'll take you back home.
Yeah, come stay with me. Howard's trying to adjust to the new world and make himself at home when he sits in her chair in her apartment, and it starts to shake, and he gets PTSD of this whole situation of being sucked through the wormhole. She's like, it's just a garbage truck. You're fine.
Stupid ass Howard. And he's being a dick the whole time. Wisecracking Deadpool style.
And that's the character he's supposed to be. But then Howard drops the bomb that back on his planet, he went to med school.
He was supposed to go to med school, and then he dropped out because he wanted to be an artist.
He was going to be a plastic surgeon. Yeah, he wanted to. His specific words were to educate himself about the street.
Yeah, and then he says he was a construction worker by day and a songwriter by night.
Yeah.
His songs were shitty too, Howard. It's like
there were no
synth based.
There were no Cherry Bomb.
No, Cherry Bomb rock.
But he finally sold out and got an adult job in commercial advertising.
Ugh, that was his job back at home.
Yeah. And Howard thinks that he is meant for something bigger. And Beverly just assumes, she's like, well, that's why you were sent to Earth. Something big is going to happen here.
He's like, nah.
I got to get back home. I got to write my songs. And Howard ends up falling asleep in her little bay window, her terrace, whatever it may be. And Beverly, he drops his wallet. Beverly goes through his wallet to see photos. Duck Pun credit cards. What was one of them?
Yeah.
Bloomin' Ducks.
Mallard card.
A George Washington on the number $1 bill with a duck bill.
They must have spent a lot on that too. Yeah.
And a little duck condom.
Yeah, she's like, Howard.
Also, unwrapped condom.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Might have been used. I don't know.
Gross,
she opens it up. She's like, "Oh, silly Howard, you've known him for
scamp.
2 hours."
Yeah, this is a pervert.
Jinjo.
Classic Howard. He's all over me right now.
I'm just getting Jinjo ass on the camera. Tune into YouTube video maybe 5 at 24:06.
So, the YouTube.
Yeah, and so the next day, Beverly is taking Howard to her friend Phil, who is a scientist. But she has to disguise Howard in a garbage bag.
Yeah, everyone will poke some holes in it, I guess.
To breathe. Yeah, of course. He would suffocate and die, Lucas.
Glad they added that detail.
And Phil loses his mind at seeing Howard. It is about to blab to all the other scientists, but decides to keep it to himself. He's trying to communicate with Howard, not knowing how intellectual he is. He's speaking in Donald Duck voices. Then he tries to get Howard to do some sort of superpowers like bending metal or laser eyes or all that.
He don't got none.
No, he's just a normal duck.
He's a talking duck.
He's just Howard. And Phil tells Howard and Beverly his theory. The evolutionary line of ducks.
That was crazy. They were right next to the display of it, right? coincidentally.
of the evolution of humans
And ducks. They have
and
mind
ducks.
signs for ducks. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What the fuck? How do they have one of those?
They're just ready.
Because the poster was an upright walking man duck. How did they have that in this museum?
His theory.
So
He's a
he
good
had it
scientist.
made. That's
Probably part of a
crazy.
presentation for PhD or something.
Yeah. Well, Phil actually isn't a scientist.
No, he's a lab assistant.
/ janitor for the museum. So they've been kind of conned. He's not going to truly help them out. And Howard, once finding this out, had his last straw.
He rages.
He needs no more sympathy or charity from Beverly. He's worried about his life while everyone else is worried about their own lives and careers. But he's stuck on a different planet. So he tells everyone, including Beverly, to leave him the fuck alone so that he can focus on practical matters like food,
He can
shelter,
be homeless.
and a job.
Is that the next scene? He goes to the job placement. That's a good scene.
With the lady, like, I get punks like you all day that are just trying to collect the unemployment from us working folks.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck? I want a job.
What a Reagan world this is.
Pretty much, but she doesn't have it. She places his ass in a job.
Yeah, she's like, you're a nutcase. I'm gonna get you a job no matter what, so you don't live off the working man's daughter. But he goes to like bite her butt. Was that a sexual bite of her ass because she was sticking it in front of him, or was he pissed and he was gonna bite her?
Probably, maybe both. Why not?
Because he's a horn duck.
No los dos. ¿Por qué no los dos?
I don't know what that means.
Why not both?
Oh.
The little girl with the taco commercial. ¿Por qué no los dos? Is it crunchy or soft? Remember?
No.
Old El Paso. That commercial. Little girl, they're fighting the Mexican community, and they're like crunchy. They're like soft, crunchy, soft. And this little girl comes in, she's like, ¿Por qué no los dos?
What is?
And they're like,
what is your stance on tacos?
I like a little mixture of both.
I do too. I think I prefer
soft, probably.
I prefer soft, but hard can be pretty good. I also like soft corn tortillas instead of just soft flour.
Like that.
No. What about like a taco Bravo, like from Taco John's, where it's a hard shell?
I like those.
And then a soft shell around it, or like a gordita.
Those are pretty elite, yeah.
Those rock. I'm glad we touched base here. You're going to the Camino in 3 hours. Are you gonna have tacos there?
Who knows? I don't know if they have tacos.
I think they're like a street taco agave bar kind of thing. I've never been.
No.
But... What?
They have like Filipino food.
Oh, I thought it was like authentic Mexican.
You're right. You're right, yeah.
Well, he gets a job, and this job is a towel delivery boy and basically janitor as well.
At a whorehouse
called Hot Tub Fever. Yeah, it is a literal whorehouse. We almost saw so many naked people in here as well.
There's so much fucking, yeah.
Like that first girl in her robe just barely missing her nipples. People fucking and making out left and right.
Hot tubs, a lot of UTIs, I would guess.
Yeah, if you're fucking in a mud bath or a hot tub, I'm sure of it. Also, beer cans and cigar smoke. Like, how is this PG rated?
How is this legal in Cleveland?
Anything goes in Cleveland,
I guess. Hellhole.
So I think now that we know that this place exists in Cleveland, this goes above the Parker house from Christmas Story. So if you're in Cleveland, LeBron James, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Browns game, Guardians game, the Hot Tub Fever,
the Hot Tub hooker place, yeah.
Then the Parker House Museum.
I would go to a town for that. That's sick.
Yeah, that's a good trip. And everyone's just fucking around him, making out in the hallways. Howard gets tossed in one of the hot tubs by his boss. He was supposed to clean one of the ducks or something, but he can't swim, trying to like stay afloat while people are having sex next to him. And he's so fed up. So he quits and he knocks his boss into the mud baths filled with bras.
A crazy scene.
And Howard takes the bus home. Everybody's freaking out everywhere he goes because he's a
Always, the
duck.
whole movie.
And he gets off the bus and sees on a TV that duck hunting is back in season, and you can shoot twice as much as usual now.
And then he sees like some Looney Tunes.
The Daffy Duck, yeah, he sees Duck-a-roni.
So
And
he's like on high alert now.
And that hunter about the duck hunting said the F word on here, but they beeped it out.
Yeah.
Like, you can eat as much. I hope you kill
You can shoot
as
as many of these fucks.
as much in ducks as you want. Like he said, "Fuh," and then they just cut off King.
Yeah, they're towing the line.
Did in elementary, middle school, did people always try and make you say "Sofa King"?
Mm-mm.
You'd go.
There's a song like that now.
You'd go to the furniture store called Sofa King.
I haven't played that trick on me. There's a song now. I forget who it's by, but it's called Sofa King. They're fucking hot or something.
And so, yeah, he's on high alert. Howard makes his way back to the alley that he first appeared in and sees that grungy bar that the Cherry Bombs are performing in again. And he's at the bar. And earlier, Beverly had kind of complained about her manager. She doesn't really ever get paid from them, but he found him a place to live at least. But he confronts the manager because he overhears a guy that owns the bar paying the manager for getting him there. But he's like, I'm going to hold out the money until she stops holding out on me. Howard hears that. He confronts him, tells them that he wants the money and he will get it whether it's the easy way or the troublesome way.
Yeah, so then a giant brawl ensues.
They slide like Howard across the bar. He smashes, but he comes back. He starts beating people up. He smacked that one guy over
Marvel
the head
style.
with a glass bottle of vodka.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good move.
And then he dodges the manager trying to stab him with like a little ice pick or
knife.
something.
It's a knife or something, yeah.
Was it? It looked real skinny, but he dodges that. He grabs it and stabs the manager, but through his gauge earrings.
Yeah, pins him to the ground.
And says, "Oh, you don't have another one on the other side. Let me make an earring hole for you here." He's about to like literally stab him
these people, yeah.
Until he makes them call off the goons, give him the money, and stop being the Cherry Bombs manager.
Until they sign some contracts, yeah.
And the Cherry Bombs are playing, but like everybody in the bar went to the bar to see this fight, so they just stopped playing. They're like, nobody's listening. This is a bad night. And they're in the dressing room trying to get changed. Howard just walks right in to find Beverly. And all of her bandmates know about Howard, too. They're just like, oh, this fucker.
And then doesn't Phil come by, too?
Yeah, he's dating one of the girls in the band.
One of the hotties? Yeah, what the fuck?
And he even told her, he's like, you're not getting any sex from me tonight. And I was like, wait, what? You're the one holding out? Lab assistant janitor?
Yeah, hottie and Cherry Bomb.
But he comes in, he sees Howard there. He's like, oh shit. He keeps proposing different science theories and he wants a feather of Howard's for his secret science meeting tonight to test his DNA. Howard says no, but he sneaks one off his ass.
Hurts Howard.
Yeah, it does. Mostly his pride, but
I guess. And Howard runs away gleefully.
Well, he tells them all that. Oh, Phil does, yeah. And he tells Ginger that, or he tells the band that Ginger's no longer their manager and he has their money.
Although he threw it off as an aside too. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got your money too, by the way."
He's gonna pocket it.
Yeah. No, he's just so cool about it.
And you could see this kind of tension building between Beverly and Howard in the dressing room. And finally, she asked him, "Hey, you got somewhere to go tonight?" He's like, "No, I don't." She's like, "How about you come over to my place again?" So he's gonna stay the night. He gets there, starts messing with her keyboard and her synth. Like this is his songwriting. Has a little dance number as he's shaking his duck ass.
Yeah, some like New Order stuff.
But Beverly's standing in the doorway listening in just underwear and a robe. And I was like, boy, it's going to happen.
Then it did almost happen.
Oh my God.
Go for it.
She proposes that Howard should be their manager, but he isn't interested in human jobs anymore, but he is interested in her ass as she's getting into bed. He crawls into bed with her,
Yeah, and then she starts advancing on him.
Yeah, because she's complaining that she can't get a man, so maybe a duck is right for her.
Sure. Really, and this makes him extremely nervous, Howard.
The plume of hairs on his head stuck straight up. A little boner reference there.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't want to
As
do it. I don't know. I don't know.
she's like, oh, just
And
a little bit.
then she was teasing him, I guess.
Well, because yeah, she was like, oh, this is all just a joke. But then she almost took off her shirt. We almost saw her boobs.
Yeah, I don't.
He pulls her
So I think
shirt down.
and I think it was just to make him comfortable, I guess. And then they're both ready to go for it.
Yeah,
Actually,
she's like, I'll just give you a little peck. So she kisses him on his bill. But then apparently her door was just open. So Phil and the
yeah.
other
So
scientists walk in and they see like she's got like a screen. So you see the silhouette of her and Howard like starting to make out. And Howard even like puts his hands behind his head as she's gonna move down his chest. It was like, no.
they stop it. Yeah,
They
they come in
peep
like,
on
what are
her.
you doing?
Phil peeped on her a little bit in her underwear first before being like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah, like how the hell did you get in here?
But they
Walk
do
in.
have something important. They made a big discovery. They found something. The feather that Phil stole matches a feather from the lab site where the laser spectroscope was used that was going to measure the gas density in Alpha Centauri. When
Sure.
all this happened, the system had malfunctioned and a giant energy inversion happened and everything in the lab blew up. But after it did, a single feather fell from the ceiling.
Sounds like some Marvel shit, honestly.
Yeah. And this single feather, the DNA matches Howard's DNA. So they're like, this all matches up.
This is
Duck
how you
DNA.
came. This is how we got your arrival. I solved your mystery.
Oh, he came all right.
He was here a lot of times.
He came fast with Leah Thompson
Hard.
straddling him. And so the scientists tell him that if there's a way to send him back and reverse the beam, they have to do it tonight while everything is still aligned with this planet. And he's excited to go, but him and Beverly are riding in the van towards there, and they are very sentimental about him departing.
Yeah, now they're like full on lovers.
If there's one reason that I would stay back on this planet, it would be to be with you, Beverly.
Yeah,
To be
they're full
inside
on
you.
gooey gooey mode.
And they get to the lab. There's no guards, which is kind of weird at the
At a
toll
lab.
booth. Huh?
Oh, at the toll booth. Yeah, I was at the lab. There's usually not guards in a lab.
And then they get in there and alarms are going off everywhere. That's also kind of weird. And then
Mm-hmm.
a scientist runs around screaming that his eyes are burning. The system had malfunctioned again. Mayhem is ensuing. It exploded in there.
It seems like a nuclear meltdown of sorts is going on right as they're arriving.
And with the knowledge that Howard had come after an explosion, they're a little
And looking
concerned that
around,
with another, what else could be coming this time? Maybe it's worse than Howard.
maybe it's a goose.
Shit.
They're assholes, notoriously. You think Howard's bad?
What if it was a 40-foot tall praying mantis?
Oh my goodness.
That would
You could probably shoot that.
yeah, but I don't know. That would destroy humanity probably.
You could probably no. You could probably rocket launcher a mantis.
Maybe, yeah, you're right. But you know how fast they are? They just snatch it out of the sky.
It blow its little hand up.
Yeah, you blow its hand up.
Maybe a 40-foot tall jumping spider.
God. Have you watched praying mantis videos like when they catch a hummingbird out of the air and just eat its head?
No, they're
That's
so cute.
they sit on like hummingbird feeders so still, and a hummingbird comes and it just fucking grabs it. It's strong enough to hold a hummingbird.
But they're so cute.
They're literal the king of
They are
the
killers.
insect
I do
kingdom.
like the tarantulas or the spiders that can eat birds. They're cool too.
Yeah, well, praying mantises eat those spiders and scorpions and shit. It's
The
like
lovely world we live in.
they don't. We're thankful that they are that small.
Yeah.
And so a police lieutenant comes in, and because Howard's being detained right now, a police lieutenant comes in and tells the cops to take off his little duck suit. So they just start manhandling him. They're like, guys, there's no zipper. He's standing in his underwear after they fondled his little duck dick. And they're like, well, we're going to arrest him. They're like, what for? He's being an illegal alien. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is funny. Classic joke.
And
Why was he detained? I don't remember.
because he's a duck.
I guess. Okay.
And Bev and Howard are being taken away, but they dupe one of the cops by setting a fire with a cigar in his trash can. She steals his gun, and they're able to escape.
Insane. Yeah, steals the cop's gun and holds it on him. Like,
yeah,
right?
holds a
I'll
cop
fucking
at
kill
gunpoint.
you.
She is a big-time criminal now.
You can't do this, yeah.
Howard is now considered an armed and dangerous fugitive, and they are hiding when they overhear some cops saying they will shoot to kill. So cops cannot be a part of the equation at all anymore.
Even more part of his anti-duck fear of this world.
Yeah. And they find Dr. Jennings. He has woken up after the explosion, unaware of what's going on as with him as he's like yelling and groaning. Yeah, he was like, the explosion happened, and then I just woke up in another area completely unaware of what's going on. Dr. Jennings helps them break out of the facility, the lab, but he's losing it, saying that an evil has landed on the planet, and he feels something inside of him growing and transforming, all while driving, causing this giant driving montage.
Honestly, the best acting of the movie.
He was doing so good.
Yeah, and to do it with some sincerity, not be completely goofy about it.
I was gonna say this could be a complete comic relief kind of thing. Oh no!
No, he was good at it. Yeah, he was a good performance, Jeffrey.
Also, with a man that is changing into an evil overlord and a duck driving, they did less damage than Creech did that once when they were driving through the town in the monster.
They did a lot of damage, but yeah, Creech will always take it.
And they end up parking the car at a Cajun sushi diner. Dr. Jennings is starting to talk in a different voice and saying he is dead and someone else is inside him now. He is
the Dark Overlord.
The Dark Overlord. And that he was in the nexus of the cosmic when a laser beam hit him and released him from the region of demons and pulled him into the lab.
This is some dog shit. This is Marvel shit for sure.
This is Marvel shit. I was in the nexus of the cosmic.
Yeah, this shit always loses me.
And what he did, this Dark Overlord says he stole Dr. Jennings' body so that he could be disguised in the world.
Like a thing.
Exactly.
That's what I got from it. It's the thing, yeah.
Or like the Men in Black monster.
Yeah, also stole from the thing.
Also stolen. But you start to really notice all his powers. He has laser eyes and he blows up the ketchup and the mustard. He then pulls out an override key that is going to power the laser and bring the rest of the Dark Overlords here tonight to cause mass extinction on Earth.
Yeah, he's bringing all his homies over. This weird.
Also, this is where the waitress delivers. It was a Cajun sushi restaurant, but their special was bacon and eggs.
Yep, sure, why not? Yeah, and then Howard sees the eggs. He's like, "Oh my God, you can't do this, my children!" And then, yeah, it was funny too because Bev was like, "Yeah, what are you doing? Get this out of here!"
Honestly, great service. That food came out so fast, and the waitress was so patient with a duck man, a Dark Overlord, and a lead singer of a band. Yeah, she was great. I would have given her a huge tip
to deal with.
And some hicks, these truckers, try to hit on Beverly. They also harass Howard and the Dark Overlord, and they steal that override key. So now Howard's like, I got to get that key back and defend Beverly.
What are they going to do with it?
Fighting, beating, I don't fucking know. Also, when Howard touched the override key, he got electrocuted.
Sure, but these guys are just
the truckers are immune to the Dark Overlord electrocution.
Yeah, monkey in the middle with it.
But Howard's like, okay, I'm going to beat you guys all up in this restaurant. He is just taking them out when the whole crowd finally captures him, and they're taking him into the kitchen. They're just going to chop his head off right there and make a duck meal.
Style.
Yeah. when Beverly is like trying to get him back, she's asking Jennings for help, even though he's not Jennings anymore. And she gets all the people to stop when she's like, "Don't! He's my, he's like,
He's
don't!
my
He's a really nice
boyfriend.
guy.
Yeah.
He's my boyfriend." And they're all like, "A fucking weird lady."
Crazy ass shit.
They end up trying to chop his head off even more when Beverly tells Jennings that they have the code key. So he begins to stand up,
He freaks out.
glow,
Yeah.
uses his laser eyes, his fire
Like
eyes,
he just combusts.
his
He
telekinesis, his
busts.
lightning skin. He's bussing his psychic abilities.
He goes all out and blows the whole fucking restaurant up.
Yeah, he does everything. And he is ending up chasing everyone out of the diner, gets the code key from Howard, and kidnaps Beverly to bring other Dark Overlords and use her body to disguise one of them.
Like a thing.
Like a thing. And
Like a
this
hot
is
overlord.
this is where I ended up losing or ending
All you
my
got?
watching experience. So what I saw was they drive away and Howard exits the diner and he sees Phil in the back of a cop car.
Yeah, I don't know why Phil got arrested. I mean, for the trespassing or whatever, even though he's an assistant at the place. But yeah,
And so they team up to
who gets
save
him out of
Beverly.
there? Well, and then they find a plane, Brandon, or
Yeah,
a small aircraft.
I was very confused at this because there's just like and back of a cop car, and then all of a sudden they're flying, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, they just find it in some lot around there. They take off and it's not like a real plane, but it's kind of a real plane.
It's like
And
a
then we get
Wright brothers plane.
and then they're chasing the big giant truck that has the Dark Overlord and Beverly in it.
It also looked
But
like bright as day out, and it was definitely
it did
nighttime.
get bright, and then they were flying over a lake a lot of the time. Even though
Oh,
I
like the
didn't,
skateboard kid in Mel.
and it's just like that, yeah, because Phil was dangling his feet in the water. This all looked pretty real, honestly. I think they flew this shit. This looked real.
And who was flying the plane?
Howard, Brandon.
Of course, yeah, he's a pilot.
Howard's, yeah. Well, and because this whole thing is Phil's like barely hanging on, and he's upside down, and then he's sideways, and then his feet
Of
are in the
course.
water, and then he's
That
sitting in
makes
the
sense.
water. Yeah.
So they
And then
chase down the Dark Overlord and Beverly back to the lab where
Yeah,
the
they
Dark
like
Overlord
crash.
has tied her to like a metal table.
Yeah, like BDSM style, and he's gonna flip the switch, and then one of the overlords is gonna jump in her and be a hot overlord.
Ooh,
But Howard and them are there.
hot Overlord.
Hot overlord.
They
And then go ahead.
They think they kill the Dark Overlord.
Well, yeah, they bust in there. They use the freaking ray, one of the rays in there to kill the Dark Overlord, a positron ray or whatever.
What I read was the neutron disintegrator.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yes. But they just had on hand in there. So they neutron disintegrate. But they disintegrate not the Overlord, but they disintegrate Jennings. So they bust him out. And then he realizes like the other Overlords are coming. So I got to destroy the big giant machine or whatever that brought me here, or else the whole world's gonna die. Even
And
though
this
that's
is
my
where
only way I can get home.
so they think they kill the Dark Overlord, but it's really just the Jennings skin. And now is where we get the stop motion lizard creature.
Yeah, the
thing.
creepy thing. Yeah, the Dark Overlords truly is.
I think you mean Thog.
Yeah, it's Thog.
What is it? What was the full
The
name?
Suppressor or something.
Where is it? Where did that go? Thog the Nether-Spawn, Overmaster of Sominus.
Yeah, that guy. He's there. And he's like freaking out. And so they have to use the big giant ray, the neutron positor, to blow up the fucking big giant machine to create a gigantic explosion to blow it up.
Oh, so they use the neutron disintegrator to blow up the space spectroscope?
Sure, if those names are all correct, yeah.
And so that no more Dark Overlords will come down from the demon region of the Nexus of the Cosmic.
But Howard is stranded. That's okay. Yeah.
So do they kill?
They blow up the guy first with it, the
Oh,
scary
okay.
thing,
So they
and then they
blast
go
him twice. Jennings' skin, then
then
Dark Overlord.
yeah, and kind of
And
anticlimactic.
then
And no, and then he goes to Beverly and is like, I'm gonna be here with you forever or whatever. And he blasts it because she's like, I have to get home, and he's like, I don't care about that. Blasts it.
so he becomes a real hero by giving up his way of going home to spend the rest of his life with Beverly
And to save the world, but yeah,
and to save the world, but mostly to be with that Beverly
that's
puss.
Howard, and that's the movie.
And oh my god! And then I did see at the end that Howard is her manager,
Oh
her
yeah, he
band's
does.
manager, and
And
plays
sometimes he goes
guitar.
on. Yeah, sometimes he goes on stage and plays for some reason too. He's in the band,
Hey, why not?
so
You know,
he's cherry bomb. And they're not playing in grungy bars anymore. They're starting to get their big break, I think,
they've got a real stage, a non-caged stage.
on Cage Stage.
Well, with that, that is the end of Howard the Duck. Like I said, I'm for sure going to watch the rest of it because I had to rent it anyway on Prime, so I feel
Yeah,
like
and I
I'm obliged.
sped through it too. I mean, it lost me a little bit just by the Marvel. So I was surprised. Maybe we'll get into that in the review, but how Marvel coded this whole thing actually was. Apart from actually being just like a Marvel property, this had
Yeah,
all the beats of the real Marvel movie.
sure. Well, what a wonderful kickoff to the season.
Unfortunately.
We're gonna have some queers. We're
Oh,
gonna have
are we?
a movie clip right
About
here.
now. Oh,
See, because I was gonna say right here, but you went with right about now. So
yeah, right about here. Right
it's
about
a
here.
it's a new season. Are you taking quotes?
No, I didn't take a quote.
God
This is
damn you!
pretty quotable, but I personally I despise the style of quotes that this movie is rich of. It's the Deadpool, it's Iron Man, it's an explosion happens and he said, "Hey, I don't want to be that guy."
So you're
No,
not gonna do any quotes this. You're not gonna do any for Skyscraper with The Rock, for
I
sure.
might not, probably not.
If you do, there's a chance you could in Eurovision. Oh, we talked about Eurovision earlier with
The real life Eurovision.
ABBA. Yeah, you might be able to take some
We
quotes in
tied
there.
together.
Let's see how many quotes I have because I obviously took quotes.
Probably a
I've
lot.
I've got 12, 4 of them from IMDb.
Pretty good. That's no less than I thought.
My 4 IMDb ones: Howard the Duck. No one laughs at a master of quack foo. I hate it.
Hate it. Kung Fu Panda shit.
Uh, Howard goes, Bev, I'm not a real sentimental guy. She goes, no. I bet you were born from a very hard-boiled egg, Ducky.
I don't get that, yeah. Hard boiled, he's a detective type.
Yeah.
It's a cynic. Yeah.
Beverly goes, you got some place to go? And Howard goes, hey, if I had some place to go, I certainly wouldn't be in Cleveland.
In Cleveland. Yeah.
Which is actually pretty good.
Cultural criticism.
And then the last one from IMDb, Howard goes, I've given up trying to assimilate. I've got to get back to my own kind. And then he checks out Beverly's butt in the underwear. She goes in, but he goes, although I have developed a greater appreciation for the female version of human anatomy,
An honor. Yeah.
Aruga.
She's just like, oh, Howard.
And then they were gonna watch some Letterman together, but then they ended up trying to fuck.
Yeah. And then the FBI lab assistants came in.
All right, the ones that I took while watching. This was the voicemail from the beginning. Hi, it's Wendy. I had this really intense dream last night, Howie. I was running my fingers through your feathers, and then, well, you'll have to come over tonight and find out the rest. Ciao for
Like
now,
the first
Howie.
line of the movie. Yeah. That's crazy.
I was like,
PG.
whoa. Next. Oh, this is the Neil deGrasse Tyson narration. What is, what was, and what will be all starts with the words, "In the beginning, there was Howard the Duck."
Yeah, that was his adventure through the cosmos. And that tone never returned either.
No, not at all.
No.
When he goes to Beverly's house for the first time, she offers him a bowl to drink out of. He goes, "Lady, I don't drink out of bowls. Can I get a beer?" And she hands him a beer, and
You
then he
like beer.
turns away and starts mumbling. He goes, "I'll put you in a bowl, lady." She's like, "What is that?" "Nothing."
He does like beers. He gets them quite often.
He drank like 4 beers in the movie. This
Take a
PG
beer, yeah.
rated.
He'd take a beer, sure.
He drank 4 beers, smoked 3 cigars, saw a lot of titties,
Had sex.
had sex, a lot of
Shot
violence.
a human girlfriend. Yeah. Shot a gun.
PG rated. Shot a gun. At the bar fight scene, he goes, "If I bite your face, you're a dead man, Ginger." And Ginger goes, "Richie, what the hell is he talking about?" He goes, "Space rabies." And Richie, "Is that a real disease?" And I don't know, Ginger. I heard maybe something about that on the news.
That scene was funny too, because he was like coming up all intimidating, like, "Hey, Ginger, you better back off with these girls." And this guy's like, "I'm a fucking duck. What the hell?" I thought that was kind of good.
I also laughed because I didn't think his name was actually Ginger and that he was just calling him Ginger, but then everybody started calling him that. This was the lieutenant that was trying to arrest him, but then they broke out and he goes, "How am I going to explain to everyone a manhunt for a duck?" And his assistant goes, "Well, it's a duck hunt, sir."
Yeah, he did. Don't start with me.
And then the last 3 are from Jennings, basically.
Or he's being a weirdo
when he's changing. Yeah, he goes, "It feels like something is inside me, gnawing on my guts." And Howard just goes, "What did you eat for lunch?" which I very much enjoyed. And I guess this is another Jennings Howard the Duck one. "The pain inside is transforming. It's like I am becoming something else." And Howard's just like, "Oh, like a sex change."
Yeah, he's very Ryan Reynolds coded.
Very Ryan Reynolds. And this is Jennings and that nice waitress. He goes, "You are about to witness the end of the old world and the birth of a new." And she goes, "Hey, is he like one of those evangelists that you see on TV or something?" And I was like, "Dang." Yeah.
And then Howard goes, "Or something, all right."
Or something. So those are my 12 quotes. Like you said, actually a quite quotable film. It's all quips and quacks from Howard.
Oh, we should have done quacks instead of quotes.
That's right. Quacklash, quiplash, quacklash, quick quacks. Nice. All right. Quotes are done. It's ratings time, which means ooh-wee baby. When you hear that noise, you know ratings are coming up. Ooh-wee baby.
Ooh-wee baby.
And I've got all 4 for you today. Tomometer.
Big dogs. Tomometer. I'll say
Tomometer.
27%. I'm feeling on this guy.
Okay. 13.
13?
Yeah.
Bad. That's worse than the Star Wars Holiday Special.
It is. What about audience score?
They like it. 31.
38.
38. A little more like it than I thought.
Which isn't really liking it.
Yeah, but compared to what Big Rock would say. Metascore, critics.
Out of 100?
40. No, 31.
Ooh, you're close. It's a 28.
Oh, Scooby.
Oh. And last but not least, an audience score out of 10.
3.8 was the other one. I'll say a 4.2.
Pretty close. It's a 4.7.
Okay, pretty close for my guy.
So, audience or critics gave it a 13 and a 28 for a 20.5%. Audiences gave it a 38 and a 47 for a 42.5.
Numbers.
We're doing numbers. What are you in number form? John Lasagna, giving Howard the Duck?
Good question, Brandon. I'm gonna give this movie, Howard the Duck, a 6.3 on the lasagna scale.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought that the plane sequence was thrilling. I thought there was some great acting. I liked Leah Thompson. It's tough because you can only get so far with a gross-looking Deadpool-y type of duck. But I'll go 6.3 because of all the other charming missteps along the way.
Sure. I was so ready coming into this film to give it a 2 point something,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
I haven't finished it yet, so scores could change. But
Tentative.
I am a 5.6 currently.
Sure, right around there, yeah.
It's not objectively not great. Obviously, the duck's hard to look at, and he makes a bunch of corny jokes the whole time.
Gross.
But the movie keeps you on your toes, although tonality wise, it changes frequently.
It does.
The
I may be being
pacing
generous.
is surprisingly well. I was
Fine,
never
yeah.
falling behind or feeling bored with
Got
it.
good structure around it.
Yeah. And like you said, Leah Thompson was good. She was also good to look at. I enjoyed her. I didn't think the character of Phil was too bad. I thought he played a pretty good dorky.
Not too bad to look at
character.
either.
Jennings was great. The singing, the band was great.
Good.
I think the biggest problems I have are some of the special effects and the look of the duck himself.
I think the Marvel-y stuff was the worst bit about it, too.
I also don't think the voice acting between the 8 different actors on the duck was too bad either.
Pretty consistent, yeah.
Yeah. It was no James Corden in there. So,
No, God, no.
you and me, a 5.6 and a 6.3.
6.9.
59.5. That's 5.95. Almost a D for duck.
E for ducks. Good score, though. I think a passing grade.
Yeah. And then,
bump it up.
do you want to hear some reviews?
Big Rog.
There are 3 critics. First off, Gene Siskel.
Oh, his buddy.
At the Chicago Tribune.
Cowboy.
He says, "This is a stupid film. The story has no center, the duck is not likable, and the special effects are less impressive than a sparkler on a birthday cake. 1 out of 4 stars."
4. He keeps the 4 stars. We haven't done a lot of Siskel lately.
No, we
Forever.
haven't. But next up is Big Rog.
Ooh, the other cowboy.
Separate reviews. Chicago Sun-Times, he says, "The movie was not enough of a comedy, and that Howard should have been given either the Groucho Marx-like personality from his comic books or a fun Donald Duck-like persona. 1 out of 4 stars.
He felt similarly to his buddy. Okay.
And the last one is by Leonard Matlin at Orange Coast. He says, "Hopeless. A gargantuan production which produces a gargantuan headache."
No score, but we know.
No score. And users. Like me and you.
We're users.
We use each other. We
abuse each other.
We abuse each other. We misuse each other.
We excuse each other.
And we amuse each other from time to time.
Yeah. And bemuse each other.
And we fuck each other.
Ooh, the best.
7 here today.
Big 7. Little song.
Little fuckbird. June 1st, 2011 says, "Many of my childhood favorites have held up wonderfully. Films like Disney's Beauty and the Beast and The Wizard of Oz. Howard the Duck is just not one of them. In fact, along with 1996's Kazam, it is one of those films that I cannot believe now that I loved as a child. It's not even so bad it's good for me, it's just excrement. It does start off all right, but the last 45 minutes especially is so weird, creepy, and dull, it spoils the whole movie on its own. The production values are not that good. The special effects in particular look as though they were made on the cheap, and the whole film is poorly scripted with jokes that made me groan rather than laugh. The story is bizarre in a distasteful way, and the acting is poor. Howard is annoying. Leah Thompson plays it straight to the point you want to give her a steroid shot, and Tim Robbins mugs embarrassingly. All in all, a real mess. 1 out of 10.
Ooh. not one of her favorites.
No, a
Even sex
childhood
as a kid.
favorite.
Yeah.
I do
Growing
agree
up.
that as I was watching this, like the last 45 minutes, she said really changes and kind of drags. When
Yeah.
he is going back to around the hour mark, when he's going back to the lab to be sent off
Yeah.
back to home or what he thinks, and they have their little sentimental breakdown, I thought that could have been the end of the movie, like a short
Yeah, I did
hour and
too.
10-minute thing. And I was like, I enjoyed
You're
this. I
right.
don't
And then
know.
they had to do the Marvel fights and stuff.
Correct. Yeah. The non-Marvel, real good in
Exactly.
that first hour.
That line.
Next up is by Snoopy Style.
Snooki style.
January 24th, 2016. He says, first of all, Howard the Duck looks weird. He's not nearly as cuddly as he needs to be. He's stiff and a bit ugly. This suggests a perfect movie to remake with a CGI character.
Oh.
There are tons of duck puns. This will either annoy you or you could have a bit of fun. The writing's not good, but I still had some fun with it. I actually like Tim Robbins' wackiness. The interspecies love affair is awkward, although Leah Thompson is looking very hot. There is a general problem with this movie. It's definitely not aimed at kids, and yet it was rated PG. I don't think it could be aimed at adults either. Even the thugs look cheesy. It makes this very odd in tone. The movie seems to be slightly long. It's been a long time since I actually saw the movie. Like the duck boobies, the humor is pushed too far at the wrong time. However, not everyone is put off by duck boobies. 6 out of 10.
Most of us are. But that's a better score than his review would suggest.
I love the twist at the end. Like the duck boobies, the humor's pushed too far, but not everyone's put off by duck boobies.
He loves it.
Yeah, he's a big fan of duck boobies and Leah Thompson.
Come on, Seth.
That is true. It's PG, so it should be for kids on the theme.
That's like Marvel, the whole deal, though. That's Iron Man and fucking
But
Suicide Squad.
and
all
he
that.
said it perfect. Like the thugs look cheesy, but the sex scenes are not.
Yeah, it's a mishmash.
Mishmash.
It's for everyone and no one.
The next one is by Gavin6942.
We've known this guy before.
September 30th, 2017. They say, I first saw this film as a child, maybe 12 years old, thanks to my babysitter. It stuck with me pretty well, as even now, 25 years later, there are scenes that are familiar and jokes that were lodged in my brain. This has cult film written all over it. Not good, not bad, but bad enough to be good in a bad way. 6 out of 10.
A lot of adjectives being thrown in there at the end.
But a similar
Scary.
rating to us and similar thoughts.
He is our crew. He's our producer.
Next one is by Bevo.
Mine looks like a penis.
Bevo. Did it?
Yeah.
I want to see mine. No, not great. Bevo. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, and then I got the tip. Ooh, shit. Yeah.
Ooh, and some little driplets.
Bevo13678 on June 5th, 2020 says, the book is better, even though the book is really bad too. 10 out of 10.
The comic book. 10
Yes.
out of 10, wow.
He gives everything a 10, no matter what it is.
I like every movie's a 10s better.
I do too, but I can't find them anymore. Last three for
Okay.
you. I think all newcomers. First one is by Brain Cham, 1994.
This thing.
29 years old.
Our peer.
On March 12th, 2022, they say, watching this film was like witnessing a 1980s fever dream injected straight into my own brain. Everything is super outdated and trendy. The jokes are puerile. The puppetry is horrendous. And the tone swings wildly from basic children's movie to adult parody. This film is great entertainment from the point of view of a cult classic, a historical artifact, valuable as an object of fascination, but has no intrinsic merit as a film. 5 out of 10.
A cultural oddity, if you will.
That's a good word.
Cultural.
Say another good word.
Punctuate.
Geckos.
Ooh, I was gonna say scorpion.
Penultimate one is by Hippie Gal.
Whacked out.
On October 29th, 2001, they say,
I could tell it.
I noticed that this movie, Leonard Six, and Ishtar all seem to
What?
tie on people's list of the worst movies of the 80s. I
Ishtar
guess
makes this.
I guess I'm lucky because I've only seen this movie of the three. Howard is an annoying character. The movie tries to make him cute, but he's just irritating. Plus, watching a guy in a duck outfit is not my idea of a great cinema. The plot stinks, the puns are awful, Leah Thompson is wasted. The whole movie is just not
He's
entertaining
drugged
unless
out.
one is a glutton for punishment. I used to hold the belief that George Lucas was God until I saw this on TV. The truly scary thing is this is one of my boyfriend's favorite movies. Now that is truly terrifying. 1 out of 10.
Did you pick this because of the Ishtar reference?
I sure did.
Yeah, Ishtar is leagues ahead of this. Let's be honest. As a
But
film.
of the 80s, these two movies are both not in your bottom three.
No, I wouldn't say so.
But I don't know what Leonard Six is. But
Yeah, probably this. Probably those. Probably this one.
and my last review is by Lime Soda.
This guy, we've done him.
We have not done Lime Soda before.
Done lime soda.
April 24th, 2001. This is pre 9/11. Take that into account.
Okay.
Don't you notice how cute it is when someone
Post
writes
Reagan.
the word love as love, L-U-V? That's the best way to describe this movie. It may not be altogether right love, but it's just too appealing to dislike. Love, L-U-V. Don't compare it to films made today, and don't compare it to Citizen Kane, C-A-I-N.
Don't do it.
Just look at it as a fun 80s romp about a talking duck, and maybe if George Lucas could remove his own head from his own butt for an hour and a half, he'd see he removed his name from the only decent thing he's ever made. P.S. Leah Thompson was hot in this movie. I think she is still the only woman who could turn me on. 10 out of 10.
The only one.
The only person
And
is
10 out
Leah
of 10.
Thompson.
Bizarre review. Bizarre review.
Bizarre.
He loved it though.
Loved it. And so with that, that is going to end Howard the Duck. Are you recommending this film?
No, I don't think so. Even though I kind of liked it for its stupidity, but no, its mental illnesses, no, I won't recommend it.
I am in the same
Brandon?
boat. I gave it a favorable score, but I don't think I'm going to recommend it. It is not for everyone.
It's just a
at
weird
all.
little placeholder. And if you like those, I guess you can throw this on for me, but
But it's also long for weird little placeholders.
it's a long little weird.
Coming in at an hour and 50 compared to like an hour 20, hour 30 that we usually do
weird
on
little
these.
long little placeholder.
Little weird, little long, little duck, little placeholder, little movie. And so with that, that's ending it this week for Howard the Duck. Next week, we've got an action film.
We're scraping the skies.
With what I believe is basically a Die Hard ripoff.
Starring a stone.
In a 225-story skyscraper that's caught on fire, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson must save his family from the fire and the burglars inside of it.
I'm in.
That's
See if you can change my mind.
That's Die Hard.
Add a fire bit to it.
Maybe I'll text Robert.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't think Seth or Devin are gonna make it.
Text Robert.
I'll text Robert. I'll see
You have his number?
I have his number.
Text him.
I'm gonna text Robert, I think.
The homie.
He's gonna do Even Dwarves, Uncle Boon Me, and Skyscraper.
Maybe it'll fit. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god,
Maybe.
could you imagine if it's like this avant-garde cinephile film?
I would go nuts. We would have heard that. Maybe.
But that is officially ending it. Thank you, Lucas, for joining me on New Year's Eve.
Good year.
Good year, yeah. We're probably playing games later this evening as well, I heard. So
sure.
Yeah. And just remember that
take it easy.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say remember that if there are people around asking for things, just remember that they're begging you. Facts. Alex. Why was she
Nice.
naked when she came up in the camera?
She wasn't. You just couldn't see her shirt.
That means
We
she's
did it.
naked. We did it! Through multiple recordings of the YouTube. The audio should be good aside from the first, what was it, like 4 minutes?
Yeah,
Something
and
like
I have
that.
that too, but we'll be YouTube is fine, you said.
Yeah, I can use whatever I need this time. If you listen to the bracket, it's tough.
I'm sure. I think I got it fixed now.
I recorded solo by myself for probably 35 minutes last night of just me, because I only used the first 35 minutes of the episode itself.
Wacky.
And then it was still going a little wacky. I put in a little snippet in like the middle. So I used 16 minutes of our audio, a little snippet where I recapped like 2 things that we missed. Then I used like 18 minutes of YouTube audio. And then the rest is like half an hour of just me saying the matchups and the winners and the noms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no fun.
But it'll be breezy.
Yeah. An hour.
All right,
Jinjo!
He's had a lot of appearances.
He's blurred out.
No, he's good.
No, he's blurry. So
he was
Alex.
good, I was saying.
Oh, yeah. Jinjo! He's going to fucking get you.
Alrighty.
We'll see y'all tonight.
I'm going to end it now appropriately.
Oh, no!